We are going to do a simple layering, and this is very easy because we have a larger session. It may be 3-4 different sessions. We are going to create, because we want to have all the heaviness on the hands. We don't want to have a layer this area. And what happens? We create a simple line. We clean. The question is, why cutting before adding the balayage? Because we need to put exactly the color in the correct position. So there we are. And here we are. Straight line, easy. Okay, this area, like working on a slice of orange or a slice of apple. That's on the other side. What we create is a layering, starting from the top of the head. Can you see that? When we second hair, and third hair, as you can see, here we have an over direction. So we go on the back. Other side. Can you see? So in this area you have all the heaviness, but you have volume here without any kind of jumping side. We do just a check. In fact, nothing. Now, this is very simple because we recreate the square line not shorter, not longer, simply square. But on the front, we create the C graduation. C graduation was an idea of the Vidal Sassoon Academy in the 90s, and this is this graduation. It's exactly how to create a C in this area. So you have all the heaviness of the hair here, but you don't have that kind that looks like a cocker dog. What we call is a cocker dog. This area you will over direct over the C graduation, so you can check very quickly. In this area you will over direct on your C graduation. Here we are. Easy, fast, very well. Other side. Same story. Square. Then we go to the front. C graduation. Now, before working on the long fringe, we need to connect the back. Just going to check. There we are. Perfect. Okay. Then Masa, we are a long French. This direction.
Yeah.
This is going to follow our line perfectly. Wonderful. This actually is one of the most requested haircut in our salon because they love to have some volume here, but they don't want to have thin hands, and this is simply perfect. And now we can work on our balayage style. First color, the darkest one, 811, 18 volume. This is why we want a natural shades in this area, and obviously we don't want red or orange shades that comes out of the hair. So 811 is perfect for the control of the range of warm, especially during the lightener process. Okay, we prepare 30 grams. 30 grams means that we are going to put 45 grams of 811. And here we are. Perfect. We use this one to understand what's the color. Because obviously when you work like in this case with the same kind of bows, we need to use different kind of color, so to understand which color is the lightener, which color is the darkener. Obviously the third color will be bleach, so you can see easily. Okay, 1211, so second color. Because after the third centimeter of the hair to the hands, we have an issue that the lightening process will be less stronger and slower. So what is going to happen if we use only one color from this area to this area to do the balayage? We have an issue because we will have a kind of darker hair after the third centimeter. In this case, we to avoid this, we work with 1211, 28 volume, and we are going to create exactly the natural shape. So darker, just a little bit lightener, and perfectly lightener on the head. Okay? Third one will be our bleach. Inca Secret bleach, one of the best bleach in the world, just for we can understand bleaching system. Remember always, also in this case, there's we are going to mix it with light. We prepare 50 grams. My perfect dilution ratio is 1 to 1.5. So we are going to put 50 grams of Inca Secret bleach. Then we are going to put 75 grams of 8 volume because we need a really natural shades. And then, least but not least, we are going to put 12 grams of light that, as I told you before, but I will tell you again, this is with cashmere protein. So why we are going to lightening and to bleaching hair, it's going to protect our hair and to work in build back what we are going to take from the hair. Very important, 4 grams for every 10 grams of product. 1 push, 1 grams. Very simple, 12 push, 12 grams. Okay? Let's start it over. Okay, first of all, 2 sections, right and left. Second of all, the use of this kind of, we call in Italian cartina, It's like a foliage, exactly. And very important. You can see it's a couple of centimeters more or less, and you need to choose how high percentage of blonde you want to reach. More blonde you want, more percentage you will put on your hands. In this case, as I told you before, we need an absolutely natural kind of blonde. We want to see her like she's gone to the beach and she comes out with the blonde that looks simply perfect. Okay? So, first one. And this one we isolate it. Second one and third one. This one we don't even look at it unless we don't want more percentage of blonde. Second one, we take the darkest shade, 811. We take our bleach 8 volume and we work just from the half of the hair to the ends. Okay? Now we start over the first section and we go dark. 1211, it means the middle color, and bleach. And we blur the color between one another. This work will take more or less 30 to 40 minutes. Then you will have more or less 20 minutes of pause. Normally when I finish the head, I rinse the back of the head, then 10 minutes from this area, 10 minutes from that area. It will be really quickly. It's one of the most requested also this, because you can do on whatever kind of color you have, and obviously you will obtain different shades. You can do on a natural brown, on a light blonde, on a dark blonde. Obviously you are going to reach a different level. Why we don't use this technique when we want a lightener kind of balayage? Because in that case we use the extreme balayage technique. It's another technique, it's another way. We don't use anymore this kind of foliage, we use another kind of foliage. And very important that we need to understand, if we force too much the lightener process in this kind of technique, we will have a kind of differences between. This kind of technique is perfect to reach a natural results, absolutely natural results. And if you have, for example, a 5 here and you want to get a 9 there, this is not the right way to get there. This is a perfect way. For example, with Masa, she is more or less a 7 here. We are going to get an 8, 9 in this area, very light, but also very shades, very blurred and very natural. Okay? Stay with me a couple of minutes more. So we are going to see how to translate from one side to another. You will see that it's very easy, very fast. Another thing you can do is work is also more irregularly. What does it mean? For example, I can choose that here I want to have a natural shade. I take the second color and I shade it. This will be more natural. It's not something like we must do only in that way. This is really creative. You have a technique and you can create whatever you want. Once you have interiorize this technique, it will be like playing with different shades of color without having any issues. For example, very good with the Martin Inca Color Secret, you can use the clear. The clear gives you 2 to 3 level of lighting without creating any problem of red and orange. Okay, have you seen? Now we translate on the other side. I'm going here. This is not my natural position. I'm not finding it very well, but it's okay because you need to see in the camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, we are reaching the frontal area. In the end, it will look like a bride. It's very beautiful also to see during the waiting time, because it becomes something really clean, really catching the eye. Always the same technique. It's very repetitive. We just need to understand perfectly where to put the color and how to put it. Once we have decided, the rest will become very easy, very fast. Okay, just one thing. On the line, normally when we want a special natural effect, we choose to leave this natural for avoid too much coloring on the line. Because this kind of technique, we always say to our customer that they can do this once, maximum twice times a year. So it means every 6 months, because in another way it becomes too much blonde and it becomes something different, and it's not anymore that kind of natural. But very important, the most beautiful things we can see in people that do this technique is that we don't have any issue of regrown. So it means that if they don't want to do this anymore, they can simply let the hair grow up and slowly cut the likeness areas. But as I told you before, it don't create any kind of regrown problem, in the regrown issue, because the first one we put is the most close to the natural. It creates a movement of shades, but it don't create highlights, it don't create very lights, it don't create. It's just a shade to create a perfect balayage. Okay. We are working the next on the last area. you see, this we are not going to touch it. This one will be the classic, and this one will, for having more natural effect, we are going to do darker and not the bleach but the second color, 1211, a secret. In this way, this will be more and more natural. Over, we put the regular one. The regular one means first color, 811, second color, 1211, and third color, bleach. We need to understand that when they will be one over the other, it will be like two veils that moves inside one another, and it don't create any kind of jump of color, but it create movement from the roots to the ends, with harmony, shading, blurring, whatever you want. Okay, this is perfect. Normally, with this kind of technique, we don't have any issue. It's already perfect. We already rinsed the back part. But obviously, Masa asked me absolutely to have a cold color. So actually, it's cold, but it's a natural cold. We want to get something more. What we are going to do? We are going to make a little bit of tonalization. It will take 3 to 10 minutes maximum. And to have more strong reaction on bleached hair, we use 1011. As you know, in Martin Marinka Secret Color system, we have this different color that can do the work of tonalization. The first one are toner on bleached hair works really well, but you need to be abundantly over a 9 to have a perfect result. When you want to work in tonalization with a little bit of correction of yellow or stuff like that, 1021 or the 11. Okay, my favorite is the 11. 1011, 911, 811 it's already quite blue, so obviously we don't use it on light mode. But 1011 have a perfect balance. It don't have any kind of green inside, it don't give us any kind of issue, but is able to correct and to put that kind of shade perfectly cold. As you can understand, it's something more than we are doing today, but very important. Now we turn the Mea Ammonia product in a demi-permanent color, and we do like this. For example, we have 16 grams of 1011. If we put 8 grams of light and together 24 grams of 8 volume, we have already a demi-permanent, and this is good. But in this case, I want to that our pigment becomes like more diluted, more longer, less strong. So in this case I have 16 grams, I mix 16 grams of light. And 32 grams of olive oil. And in this way the color will be simple, perfect. Bright, not too much icy, not too much yellow, not too much that, not too much to the other. You know, I've got the fortune to work with this product with a little bit of time, so I think so. I've got some composition in my mind that always the same and always gave me a perfect result. I'm teaching to you to having a better understanding of the product and to having a new technique to develop your job. As you can see, when it's wet, it looks like you don't even touch the hair. And this is simply perfect, because while you are going to dry, you will have the perfect shades. If you see too much when it's wet, it means you have too much lightning. And that could be an issue, because as I told you before, you will find like some different point of color inside. We don't need that one, we need exactly perfect color. Okay, now we dry and then we check. Okay, we finished then. Can you see it? Simple perfection. I make you see the back. No, faccio diretto. Okay. There's no need to explain this or that, because we have a perfect shading of color with a perfect natural effect. Okay, now we are going to see outside under the sunlight, okay?
So here we are, the perfect color. So sunlights, like having 3 weeks in the seaside without having any kind of issue with orange or yellow or any strange effect. This is the Martin Academy, the Martin Deluxe Hair Code Balayage Sun Buffing Technique. It means the most natural effect without regrowth problem and without any issue of undesired reflex, undesired shades. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time. Thank you, Masa. Now let's take some picture and see you later.
Thank you. Bye bye.